already know this is Pawn Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself, aka El Adobo, aka El Sazon, aka El Borracho. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people talking about, you know, and predicting that Canelo Alvarez is gonna beat Billy Joe Saunders. But I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I don't think it's gonna be that easy the way a lot of people is analyzing this fight. Well, the general public. Look, one thing about Canelo Alvarez, 4-division world champion, walking Hall of Famer, cash cow, pound for pound numero uno. He's seasoned, highly seasoned, fighting 3 fights in the span of 5 months. And this is something that we want of the fighters to do, is actually stay out there, stay seasoned. And we all know that Billy Joe Saunders is not seasoned right now. He is not seasoned right now. But if you know the sport, if you know boxing, you know his skill set is up to par. He's taller, he's rangier, use the jab well, know how to control range, southpaw, maybe going to rehydrate more than Canelo Alvarez. There are certain things that Billy Joe Saunders could do in that ring that could neutralize Canelo Alvarez. And even Canelo Alvarez have alluded that this is a difficult fight. You got to take it for his words. You know that Canelo Alvarez won't bullshit. This is a difficult fight because, of course, Canelo Alvarez hasn't faced anything like this. Maybe, yeah, he faced the southpaw, but not this size. Not probably a different pedigree. He faced the Lavras of the world, but this is the type of different pedigree. I think that Billy Joe Saunders needs to implement the power real early. He needs to take a page out of Tyson Fury on the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury 2, in which he cannot rely just on his strengths. He needs to add more wrinkles. He needs to show more wrinkles to his game, in which I do believe there's this myth that Billy Joe Saunders has no power. No, he doesn't sit on his punches. So the power is a little bit decreased, but he has power. He needed to implement his power. He has implemented his power. But in this fight, he needs to do it young. He needs to do it early. He needs to set the tone. He cannot let Canelo Alvarez set the tone. Canelo Alvarez will take the first round off. So he needs to set the tone and actually sit down on his punches. He got to be a yin-yang fighter. He needs to start off. He needs to do what a lot of people feel like he may not do. So Billy Joe Saunders has to implement new wrinkles to his game. And he's going to have to come into this fight not only with plan A, but plan B, plan C on deck. It's a game of adjustments. It's a game of inches. Timely adjustment at that. You got to make those timely adjustments. That's what separates the good and the great. You make timely adjustments on that same fight. Sometimes they got to make it sound. Sometimes fighters got to make an adjustment. They take their loss. They go back into the drawing board, come back with a rematch, and then make adjustments. But the great ones make adjustments on the fly, and that's what Billy Joe Saunders will have to do tomorrow night versus Canelo Alvarez, in which he is the best boxer right now in the game. He's seasoned, like I said in the beginning. He's seasoned, and it's gonna be a hard task. But I believe that Billy Joe Saunders, if he implements that power early, it gotta be early, because I do believe that, you know, we all know that Billy Joe Saunders, you know, he fluctuate weights up and down. I don't know if he had fat camp. I don't know if he dedicated this camp on tools and adding tools to the toolbox and things of that nature. So he would need to really set the tone, sit down on his punches early, make sure Canelo Alvarez feels his power. So when it's time for Canelo Alvarez to even try to engage, he's thinking twice whether to come on the inside. He's thinking tight. He's thinking he's thinking a lot to come on the inside, because I believe that Canelo Alvarez will have to implement his body shots to be successful in this fight, to stop the movement of Billy Joe Saunders. So again, I think it has to be some type of yin-yang approach. If Billy Joe Saunders dictate the inside game first, and then when Canelo Alvarez commit to fighting on the inside game, then adjust and then switch to the outside game. You feel me? So that's what I think is gonna happen. That's what I think that Billy Joe Saunders should do to have a great chance to win this fight. Have a great chance to win this fight. But I do believe this fight is gonna be like like the Kell Brook and the Earl Spence fight, and where Kell Brook was having success in the beginning, and it was like a tit for tat type of fight. It was going back and forth, but then, you know, Earl Spence stood to his guns, like I think Canelo Alvarez is gonna do. He's gonna trap him. He's gonna cut the ring off, and eventually go and get him in the end. But I do believe that Billy Joe Saunders could be highly successful if he needs to commit that he will have to throw down. He will have to fight. He's not just gonna be outboxing him. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen. So I do believe that Billy Joe Saunders will have to, you know, fight, and in spurts box. That's what I believe. Y'all already know it's Punch Wrong Boxing. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button.